It's literally never been easier to start on YouTube, and I would know. I first started making videos on my main channel 12 years ago, back when growing on YouTube meant uploading every single day and answering every single comment. No tools, minimal strategy, just pure grind. Luckily for you, today is a much different world. We have better algorithms, better tools, more data, systems that are proven to work. But for some reason, tons of creators, both new and old, are still treating YouTube like it was 12 years ago. They're chasing views rather than building brand, copying trends instead of adapting them, blaming the algorithm for their videos' performance, and overall just giving up too fast. So to help you with all of that and with your content creation journey, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to start on YouTube and create in a way that's worked for me for over 10 years. This framework has grown my main channel to nearly 3 million subscribers and my second channel to over 400,000. And I'm currently using it to start this channel that you're watching right here, right now, practicing what I preach as always. It works, and it's called the Scale Framework. And today, again, I'll be explaining it and showing how you can apply it to your channel. I do though want to start with a warning, simple warning. YouTube takes time to build. It's not like TikTok where you can go viral with one post and like everything changes, which technically doesn't even happen on TikTok, but you know what I mean. It took me literally years of consistently uploading before I got my first 100,000 subscribers, and even more years to get my first 1 million. Luckily, today is a different world and you can do that way faster, but you need to be committed to this vision and to this idea for at least 3 months. If you're the kind of person who gives up in a week if you don't like have 1 million subs or get rich, YouTube probably isn't for you. But if you're somebody who's willing to invest several months of time, effort, and energy into like a real true goal and like a long-term vision, YouTube is the perfect place, and it works. Okay, into the Scale Framework we go, starting with S, starting strategy. This is the beginning of your journey, and it is imperatively important. Your starting strategy includes the following: your niche, your brand identity, your content home, and your cadence. You want to clarify your identity, your niche, and how often you're going to post, which is a step many people completely skip over when going about making a channel. They basically just click record without knowing who they are or what they're uploading or why they're doing any of this. You see, YouTube isn't just about uploading, it's about planting a flag. And there are a few questions you should ask yourself before your first upload. Who am I? What type of creator or brand are you? What unique experience are you bringing to the table? What unique story do you have that applies to your niche? What do I talk about? What niche or core subject are you most interested in that you want to be known for? What are you like making content about? For this channel, for example, the niche that this channel is in is YouTube strategy. Because who am I? I'm a career YouTuber with over 12 years of experience. Where am I talking about this? What platforms are you currently using or planning to use to get your message out? What's the main platform you're focusing on? If you're watching this video, most likely YouTube. How often am I talking about it? What is your ideal posting cadence for YouTube? Is it daily shorts, weekly long form videos, monthly podcasts? How often are you looking to like talk about your thing? And this honestly will entirely depend on how many hours a week you have to like commit to YouTube, because most likely if you're starting a channel, you're probably doing something else, a full-time job, you're in school, and YouTube can definitely one day replace that. I started making kind of a lot of money a month as like a high schooler, and I didn't go to college because I did YouTube full-time. So the path is real here. You just gotta start the right way and know what you're doing. So this video. And this channel is a great example. I have set an upload cadence for this YouTube channel for 1 video per week. And so far, we've done that. So whatever you think is realistic that you can handle. Once you answer these questions for yourself, you have a fantastic starting point. And you do something important. You give yourself direction. There's a couple of other exercises that you can do to give yourself even more direction with this step, and they include make a creator identity statement, which is basically like your elevator pitch to your YouTube channel and brand. 1 to 2 sentences about who you are, who you make videos for, and what you do. You can create a niche map. So this is basically outlining your core category, relevant subtopics, and crossover interests. You can have a weekly commitment plan where you basically define a realistic schedule for yourself and you stick to it. If it's 1 video a week, 1 video a week. Listen, if you don't have any direction, you're gonna flail around like a fish and you're gonna drown. Or you're gonna upload a bunch of random things that just don't perform and you'll never create a true audience because you're uploading all over the place. So do this step and then head to the next one. C, content pillars. These are the fundamentals of your strategy, the heart and soul of your channel. These pillars also serve as very important filters to sift video ideas through. If you come up with a video idea, but it doesn't really align with your content pillars, you can either throw it out or adjust it so that it does align with your content pillars. Trust me, as a career content creator, having content pillars and filters to sift ideas through is so important. People always ask me, like, how do you come up with so many video ideas? Because I've uploaded consistently for 12 years across multiple channels, and it's like, man, you gotta have filters. So to figure out your unique content pillars for you and your channel, you should ask yourself a couple of questions, and make sure you write these things down along with your answers. Starting with, what are your core 2 to 3 content pillars? What repeatable themes will audiences come to you for and know you for? And it's important that they're repeatable. For example, on my Pokemon Go channel, I primarily have updates, event playthroughs, and big challenges. 3 content pillars that all of my content kind of falls in line with, and they're all repeatable, which means I can just keep doing them until the end of time. And people know to come back to me for those things, which is really important. Return viewership is big. Next question, what is your unique perspective? What belief, angle, or philosophy do you have that sets you apart from other people in your niche? And what things do you just personally believe that you can integrate into your content to like give it a personal twist? There's a lot of content on YouTube. This is a great way to stand out. For example, I have like an entire like full page document on my unique perspective specifically for this channel, for the videos that you're watching, including like 8 different points that make up my unique perspective and like 10 different strategies on implementation on how to get my unique perspective into my content. This one's really important, especially if you're trying to build like a very strong, sticky audience. Next question, what formats will you use to deliver your message? Short form, long form, live streams, podcasts, whatever feels most natural and fun to you and whatever resonates most with your audience. What is your editing and storytelling style? Are you fast-paced? Are you cinematic? Are you raw and unfiltered? Are you stream clips? And then finally, what is the purpose of your content? Do you want to build authority? Do you want to drive like customers to a business? Do you want to entertain people? Like, what is the point? Every video idea and every video you make should align with the answers to these questions of what your content pillars are, which again will make choosing video ideas and coming up with video ideas much easier. And that's because your content pillars will give you a ton of direction on what to create and how to create it. And listen, after being on YouTube for over 10 years and talking to so many people about YouTube, including adults, kids, everybody who wants to start a YouTube channel, most people don't ever start because they just can't figure out what to make. Like, what do I make? Your content pillars will literally answer that question for you. And to develop these even further, I would recommend doing the following. Create a content pillars document where you basically write out all of your content pillars, the answers to these questions, and kind of outline what, where, when, and why for yourself. It's really helpful to have like a document that you can go back and reference. Create a unique perspective statement. Again, I have like a huge Notion document that is all about my unique perspective. So like, it's very important. So create that. Make a format menu. Basically for this video idea, I can turn it into a long form, a short form, a post, like have a menu of different kinds of content that you create so that you know when you come up with an idea, what you can turn it into, realistically. Have an editing and brand style guide. Think of like a Pinterest board. Basically just go throughout YouTube and take links and screenshots and video recordings of creators that you like and put that all into one place so that when you go about editing or creating, you have visual references and stylistic references. And if you hire an editor or work with an editor, they have that. And create a content alignment map. And this basically just helps you understand what the purpose of each kind of content is. So for example, your short form content, what is the point? Reach. You want to get more reach and eyes on your brand. Long form content, what is the point? Community. You want to cultivate community. That kind of stuff. Understanding what you're uploading and what it's doing for you and your brand and your strategy. All right, next up is A, audience. Very important, very, very important. You have to get very clear on who you're making videos for, what they're looking for, and why they should be clicking on your video and why they stay. And this right here is the key to YouTube's algorithm, like actual. The best way to think about the algorithm is that it follows the audience. Too many people think of the algorithm as this like mystical black box. And it used to be. It's true. It used to be. Trust me. The algorithm was so broken back in the day, bro. I'm talking like maybe like 9 years ago. No, 11 years ago. You could put your video tags in the top line of your description and it would put you at #1 in the algorithm for whatever niche you're in. A lot of creators that you know today use that strategy to grow. I did not. I was a very big advocate against it, but that's how the algorithm used to work. It was very random and random glitches would pop up. Now it's very, very good. It's very easy to understand. It simply follows along with what people are interested in and serves them more of that. So if you can understand your audience and who you're making content for and optimize that content for those people, the algorithm will take your content, serve it to those people consistently, and then serve it to more people like them. So if you're me and you're trying to make a channel about YouTube strategy, you have to think, what are people really struggling with or really want to know a lot about that I can make content about? It's important to remember that your audience they're not just numbers. They're people trying to solve problems, escape stress, and find success in their lives. So ask yourself these questions. Who is your audience? Are you talking to gamers or collectors or business people? What are they looking to get from your content? Entertainment, strategies, education, insight, cooking recipes? How do they consume content? Are they primarily watching YouTube videos? Are they podcast listeners? Are they TikTok watchers? What stage are they at in their journey? Are these people beginners, intermediates, advanced? And why would they follow and trust you? What do you provide? What do you bring to the table that's unique and helpful? Like, are you like a professional accountant looking to make accounting content? Like, that's a pretty good angle, and I would trust you. Then once you answer these questions for yourself, go about these next steps. Create an audience avatar profile, which is basically just like, imagine the ideal audience member for your content and write a bio on them. What do they look like? What do they like? What do they watch? What do they do in their free time? Like, why are they watching YouTube for? Where are they trying to get? What are their goals and aspirations? Then create a viewer journey map, which basically shows how a person goes from random person to viewer to subscriber to follower to fan. How are you bringing this person through the journey of going from a completely random person who's never heard of you to a big fan of yours? And then you can create a content to need alignment table where you can basically match each content pillar of yours from the C to each pain point or desire of your audience. And this works even if you're making purely entertaining content, by the way. You don't have to be a business to apply this. Like, if you want to be a Fortnite creator who makes funny content, it's still very important to understand your audience. And if you're a business that wants to use YouTube to drive more sales, whether you're like a service-based business or a product-based business or whatever, the A in scale is the most important letter for you, like by far. So think about your audience just as hard as the content that you're going to be making for them. Now we go to L. L stands for leverage systems. This step is what sets the small creators apart from the very big and successful ones. Small creators who stay small do so because they're unable to scale their operations and their content. And this basically means delegating and getting rid of work that's slowing you down, like editing or thumbnail design. Also, if you think about it, I had to do this kind of within the last like year or two. I have made my own YouTube thumbnails for most of the 12 years I've been making YouTube. But I've realized that YouTube is getting very, very competitive, and if I want my videos to compete on YouTube, because they're not just competing, like my Pokemon Go channel isn't just competing against other Pokemon Go videos, it's competing against every other video on YouTube that people could be watching instead of watching my videos. So if I want my videos and my channel to compete, I'm gonna have to start paying a professional thumbnail designer who can make much more polished and better thumbnails. So even though I can just do it all myself and it's fine and it works, I'm holding myself back from future success by not delegating. And again, that's what separates small and big creators. So if you ever want even the slightest chance of becoming a big creator in the future, you have to understand this step. When you're a small creator, you don't technically have to be doing it, delegating and outsourcing, but you need to understand it and you need to start doing it when it feels like it's time for you. Okay, here's the main questions that you want to ask yourself here, and I highly recommend writing these down and saving them somewhere where you're going to remember them, because if you're just starting on content, again, you don't need this step, but the faster you implement it, the faster you grow. So write this down and save it. How much time per day or week do you have to dedicate towards content creation? Get honest around your capacity, and then you want to design around it. If you only have 2 hours a day, 5 days a week to make content, then you really want to make sure that you're making content efficiently in those 2-hour time blocks. What does your weekly content system look like? Write down everything that you do to produce for whatever you do, whether you're a new creator or existing creator. You start of like thinking of the video idea, writing it down in a Google Doc, recording it, editing it, making the thumbnail, making the title, uploading, like write the whole system down, write it down. What tools could you use to make your system more efficient? There's scheduling tools, there's automation tools, you have ChatGPT to help you out with like title and thumbnail concept, like thinking about brainstorming, there's editing software. When you're just starting out as a content creator, again, you're most likely balancing content with school, content with work, so you don't have all the time in the world. And even as me, as a professional content creator, I do this for a job, I don't have all the time in the world. For example, it is 2:33 p.m. for me right now. I have to film this video and one more after it, and then I have to stream for 2 hours, end the stream, do 30 minutes to shoot an ad, and then have a 30-minute meeting. I can't spend all day making content, scripting content. There's things to do. So you gotta think, what tools are there to make your system more efficient? Then ask yourself, what parts of the process do you enjoy? And what parts of the process feed your goals? And this is so basically when you start outsourcing your work, you make sure that you keep doing the things that you enjoy and that bring your channel success. process. And then ask yourself, what parts of the process would you delegate if you were able to, and what are you already delegating? Are you a bad editor or you don't really like editing? Put that as the number one thing that you'll delegate the moment you can. And once your channel's successful enough and you're making enough money, you can start paying an editor immediately. And that's gonna be a huge unlock for you. And it was for me. Shout out to Reese, who's editing this video. There are two main goals that you're aiming for when answering these questions. Figuring out what you should be spending your time on versus what you should be delegating, and figuring out how you can optimize your time so you can have more time to create and do more. And with the advancements in AI, there are new tools literally every single week that help with optimization, organization, time management, time efficiency, all that. So I created a small database of the best tools, AI-based tools to use as a content creator. And if you want access to that, which is extremely helpful, by the way, DM me on Instagram data, and I'll send you the link to the database. And I'll leave my Instagram link in the description below. And a few more helpful things that you could do to leverage systems in your content operation include creating a content workflow map, which is again, just like your entire system written out. Templates and tool stacks. There are plenty of content creators and businesses who have thumbnail templates or title packs or editing texture packs. Look to make your whole process easier. Create a repurposing system. If you're a live streamer, you can live stream and then take moments from that live stream and make a YouTube video, and then take moments from that YouTube video and make YouTube shorts that can go on TikTok and Instagram. If you can learn to efficiently repurpose content, you can turn your content creation system into a flywheel machine, is what it's called, and be maximally efficient, which means you're gonna grow and make a lot more money. Have an outsourcing plan. Write down all the things that you do as part of your operation to put out content and rank them on things that you like and things that you don't like. And the things that you don't like, make sure that they're high on that list so that the moment you can start outsourcing, when you start making money, you have a list of things that you know to outsource. And the big tip that I'll give here that I use in my own workflow that I'm using right now is called batching. This is gonna change your life if you don't know what this is. Also, we got a new Nespresso in the office. Shout out to my girlfriend who lent it to us, and it is making lattes like a madman back there. Okay, so what batching is essentially scheduling a bunch of the same activity in one session. For example, all of the scripts for all 4 of the first 5, technically, of the first videos on this channel, I wrote all those scripts in one single day. I sat down for 8 or 9 hours and just wrote scripts. And I got all of them done. And that was yesterday. And then today I'm recording all 4 videos, which you probably couldn't tell because I brought a change of clothes for all 4 videos. But don't get it twisted. I'm tricking you. I batched this and I recorded them all today. 2 days of work, 5 videos, 1 full month worth of uploads. Done. Now I just have to worry about thumbnail and title, and those videos are done. You can do this with creating thumbnails, planning your videos. I always plan videos a month ahead. Editing. It's a really great way to get a lot of things done, because if your brain is in scripting mode, it takes a lot of energy to pull it out of scripting mode to do another thing. So if you just put all of your scripting in one single day, your brain stays in scripting mode and you get through all the stuff way more efficient. All right, we're now at the final letter, the big one, E, earn. Yes, it is now time to start thinking about getting your bread up, because let's be honest, you probably want to make money from this. My content operation currently generates well over $50,000 a month, which I made an entire video about. That's ad revenue plus brand deals plus streaming. I don't think I talked about the brand deals and streaming in that video. I recorded it earlier today. I remember that. My bad. But I'll leave the link in the description for that video down below if you want to watch that and see how I'm doing all of this. So how should you plan to start making money with your YouTube channel? Start by asking yourself a few questions. What are your monetization goals? Do you want to just make money from ad revenue? Do you want to get brand deals? Do you want to start a business? Do you have an existing business that you're going to use YouTube to get more clients for? How much money do you want to make from content in 3 to 6 months from now? You want to be realistic here, maybe you want to start making $1,000 a month off of ad revenue in 3 months from now. Set real goals. Or maybe you're an existing business and in 3 months you want YouTube to be driving $100,000 of new customers to your business. That's also very possible. Set a goal. And the big thing, how are others in your niche monetizing? On YouTube, monetization is kind of an interesting concept because there's really only a finite amount of ways that you can monetize in certain niches. So if you're in the gaming niche, there's only a handful of ways that you can make money. Obviously, you could probably think of different ideas and bring new concepts in, but this is a whole different concept for a whole different video. But basically, there's a list of socially acceptable ways to monetize that exist and is different in every single niche on YouTube. So in order to find that, because you don't want to get canceled for trying to make money, or you don't want to be called a scam or a sellout, right? So you want to make money that are with using ways that are accepted in the niche that you're in. It's a weird game you've got to play as a YouTuber. So to do that, just look at other people in your niche and see how they're making money, which also might give you great ideas on how you might want to make money. If you're trying to be very smart about money and making money on YouTube, the best strategy is this. YouTube should feed the business, not be the business. My Mystic 7 channel isn't a good example here because although it does make a lot of money per month, especially in brand deals and in streaming and in ad revenue, it is the business. The most financially successful creators on the platform have businesses that their YouTube channel feeds. The YouTube channel is just like a marketing, an entertainment wing, a marketing wing, an acquisition wing for clients or for hires. Like YouTube serves a strategic purpose in the greater business. Think of Mr. Beast and Feastables, KSI and Prime, Alex Hormozi and Acquisition.com, obviously Iman Godzi and all of the money that he apparently has made through courses and stuff like that. You do not need to create an entire business before making a YouTube channel. But if you already have a business, YouTube can be an insane unlock for extra revenue for you. And the best part about this strategy is you don't need to go viral to make a ton of money. You just need a few hundred or a few thousand very, very engaged followers or subscribers in your niche. But that really only applies to like people who are aspiring entrepreneurs or businesses looking to use YouTube. Regardless of who you are, thinking about monetization in the next couple of listed ways is very important. Create a monetization menu for yourself, which is basically just a list of all of the different ways that you think you could monetize, and then you rank them on likelihood of doing them, on difficulty, on niche acceptance. Then create a revenue alignment map. You want to align monetization strategies with your content pillars and your audience. Create a signature offer blueprint. If you're a business or you're an entrepreneur, figure out what is your offer? What are you trying to offer people with your YouTube channel? And think about how you're going to package that and how you're going to promote that. Create a funnel sketch. Again, if you're a business, right? Here's YouTube up here who's capturing all of these eyes and all this attention. How are they going to funnel into becoming a customer for your business? Write out that process. Listen, you can make a lot of money on YouTube if you know what you're doing. So follow along with this video step by step, and you just might. DM me on Instagram. I'm wishing you the best on your YouTube journeys, and I hope you found this video valuable.